Hello, friends, and hello, family. Thank you for being here this morning. I really appreciate it. I'm Olivia, and this is Tarot and Coffee with Olivia, here to do your Tarot Daily Pick a Card. This is the Healing and Mind and Spirit cards that we will be shuffling from Dr. Brian L. Weiss for our thought of the day. A couple hard shuffles on the table. Kind of fumble fingered today. Kind of as usual. Alright, let's go ahead and just shuffle a little bit more, and then we're going to cut the deck right now, and we're going to choose the bottom. And your card of the day is, if you're evolving into a more loving, more compassionate, less violent person, then you're moving in the right direction. How about that? Oops. Yeah, I'm tempted to read it again, but I'm not. I am constantly evolving into a more spiritual person. That's kind of similar to one we've had recently. Okay, let's move on. If you've never done a tarot pick a card, it's easy to do. You just pick your card topper. And I will show these up close momentarily. And that's your card of the day. But I will say that many people do this many different ways. In fact, some people wait till they're all turned over and choose. Some people choose more than one card. Some people choose 3 cards. Some people choose all the cards. It's fine. Some people leave this video on in the background, and some people come back to see a video whenever they're feeling like they have a question or a problem and they want something to help them. These videos are timeless, which means that anytime you find them is a good time for you, okay? Oh, coffee, coffee, coffee. Perfect. That's a perfect cup of coffee, I have to say. Perfect cup. I had to say that again. Okay, let's go ahead and look at these card toppers up close, because they're all hearts. Oh my goodness, am I going to remember what this one is? I'll put it in the, when I do the timestamps, I'll say the name of this rock. Someone told me it was howlite once, and it doesn't quite look like howlite. At any rate, someone here on this channel left a comment and told me exactly what it was. So I'm going to have to go look that up, and I'll put that in the timestamps. This one, I do believe, is a selenite. You can see the particular sheen that it has, and I'll show you my other selenite real quick that's not on the table. But you can see how it has that sheen. This next one is Labrodite. And it has that nice, it has a particular sheen as well. And last but not least, the dark Obsidion Heart. Given to me by a dear friend. Thank you, Seth. I'm just going to say his name. He also did some book art for my table that I used in the past, and I will be using again in the future. But that's not what we're here to talk about, is it? We're here to talk about your future in the coming moments of your day, okay? Or what will help you. These can even be weekly readings. You can just come back once a week and do a reading and hold that card as your card for the week. That is another way to do this, and that is a fine way to do this. Okay. So, it's time. It's time for another sip of coffee. That's what it's time for. And now I'm going to go ahead and start with this card right here. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video and take all the time that you need. The Queen of Pentacles. No, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords. I'll put her on a little stand here. Okay, the Queen of Swords, if this is your card for the day or your card for the week, what we're talking about is basic values through loving limits. Okay? So this card asks of you to be clear in your decisions and your behaviors, because our behaviors speak a language more telling than our words, which better explained is action speaks louder than words. So think it through. What is it? Whatever it is you're thinking. What's going on with you today? Think it through before you take action. Be sure you are aligned with your values. And if you are a spiritual person, then then make sure that your values align with your religious beliefs and your convictions. In this way, you will be able to stand strong in your strength and your power. So basically, I'm going to put it in a more basic form. If you're making decisions and you're able to stand by your convictions, and you're able to have the power of something behind you, something to support you, like religious beliefs or other beliefs, you will be able to cut through the confusion and get to the nitty-gritty. So whatever decisions, swords often have to do with decisions, because they're about reaching a point or sharpening your ideals and ideas to where that you can stand up for those convictions or those decisions and know that you're making the right decision and you have support for that. So that is your Queen of Swords today. It's a big card. It's a lot. So I think it goes well with the card, I am becoming a spiritual being. But like I've said before, you don't have to believe what I believe to get something from these readings. So I hope that was something that you find helpful. And also, you don't have to be a religious or spiritual type person to have the power of your convictions. So let us see what the next card is. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles speaks to us about work or our vocation. Pentacles have to do with work and vocation, money. Also, Pentacles can be your life calling. What is your highest purpose? Your talents. All right. So that's what Pentacles often mean. And when we're talking about the Knight of Pentacles, the card suggests that when we work steadily, like putting one foot in front of the other, you develop experience and self-possession. So this is also about practice, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting quality results, because that's what you've been getting. And you get more and more quality as you steadily push forward. It comes with a bit of a warning. So, not a warning, I guess, and it's not even a negative side. It's just, I'll just say it. Nothing gets wasted, not even our bad decisions. Even our bad decisions teach us and others. Kind of like fertilizer. It might stink, but it's necessary for growth. So this is what this card asks of you today. Forgive yourself and others for any mistake made along the path. So I always mention forgiving yourself first, because honestly, that is how you can come to forgive others. Oftentimes when I'm really angry with someone, it's very much similar or even the same as something that I'm angry at myself for doing. Sometimes it's the exact same thing. Once I'm able to forgive myself, it's much easier to forgive that other person. So it's not about selfishness, it's about finding your path. Okay, let us see what's under the third card here. And of course, becoming a more spiritual person is a part of a good practice and process. So the next card we have is the Hanged Man. I will say, in my tarot business, this has been very startling for a lot of people, especially during these times that we're living in. This man is not hanging dead. This man is not hanging by a noose. This person, let's call this a person, is hanging voluntarily. They may have even, they probably even put themselves in that position. They are not a victim of a joke. They're not a victim. Okay, I just had to put that disclaimer there because, like I said, it has been somewhat startling for some of my customers when they get the Hanged Man, and it's worrisome. So I don't want anyone to worry or be concerned about this card. This is about self-examination. This is about examining your belief system. Is it working for you or is it working against you? Sometimes we must stand on our heads to gain the perspective needed to see what needs to be seen and change what needs to be changed. I consider this card a meditative card. A lot of meditations are actually done on your head. I don't know if you knew that. Not any of the ones that I do, not just yet. It's all about gaining a new perspective, or at least looking into a new perspective and then finding a perspective that works better for you. I guess that's what I'm talking about. So what is this card asking of you exactly? It's asking you to put yourself in a different position in order to see a different perspective. It's not as easy as pie. It's not as easy as it sounds. That's why he's on his head. They are on their head. Let's see what's under the black obsidian. The Ten of Cups. This is a more complex card than it seems at first glance. Mainly, this card talks about many things, first of all. Okay, so what are the many things it talks about? High days and holidays, love of family, and it also can mean a wedding, a family reunion, a family trip. It can mean so many things. Okay, so what does it mean for you today? That's what we're sussing out here. So I want you to accept the loving energy of the cups. There's so much loving energy around you with this card. Sort out your desires as well as your fears. This is yet another one of those cards that looks quite simple but can be quite big. So sort out your desires and your fears. Fulfill those worthwhile wishes. Those, sort through them. Figure out what you want and then throw the useless ones out. So what do I mean by useless wishes? That's a tough one, right? What do I mean by useless wishes? I mean, how can I put this? The wishes that are not in your best interest, the ones that you know aren't. Like, I have a few fantasies, I like to call them. Escapes rather than wishes. Sort out what's real and what isn't, and what you actually need and what you really just like to pretend. How about that? Is that a good explanation? Maybe. So there's some more to this. Take your justified fears seriously and take appropriate message. Take appropriate measures, okay? So that means I am a somnambulist. I sleepwalk. I get up in the middle of the night. Sometimes I even cook. Sometimes I have been known, I broke my toe once and didn't wake up. So the fear is that I'm going to go outside and try to drive. So what do? Put a lock on the door. But I don't know. I think that maybe I let people know what's going on. I also take medication for it. So I've taken appropriate measures and I don't really have that fear anymore. So figure out your fears, take appropriate message, the justified fears. For the unjustified fears, you have to embrace your full and joyful destiny into love of family and spouse. That didn't really tell you about what to do with your unjustified fears, did it? What do you do with your unjustified fears? You throw them out. Throw them out. Throw out those what is an unjustified fear? Sometimes we worry too much about money. And sometimes what we need to do is do our best and throw that fear away if we have enough money to eat and pay our rent. If that's what we have enough for, that's nothing to be afraid of. Things move forward and things change, and as long as we're doing our best, well, yeah, I do understand that fears can go further. Because even when we're doing our best, that doesn't mean we're always going to have enough to eat and enough to pay rent, right? But realize those fears are future fears. Do you have what you need right now? This is what we mean by living in the moment. You do want to plan for the future and you do want to move along the right path, but you don't want to worry about things that are unnecessary to worry about. Do you have enough today? Plan for the future so that you will always have enough, but at the same time, don't worry about money, having enough money today, because if you have it, you have it. Live in the moment. That's what I have. I just have to put this out right now. I don't know why. It needs to go out. Because because it looks so small. And it wasn't really, I don't know. Okay. So we're at the end. And I hope you found this to be exactly what you needed. And please do take what resonates with you and leave the rest. Don't make life-altering decisions or changes based on this or any other Tarot Pick a Card video, but do connect with me on my other social medias, linked below. Book with me on my websites, on King, and or my website for a personal, more descriptive reading. And do subscribe. Love you guys. I look forward to tomorrow. You guys take care.